everybody. This is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. And if you want to get your money's worth, you'll stay right here. WNS Podcast. Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 236 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Beyond Pod, Stitcher, and Player.fm by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Follow the podcast on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Daniel's at WNS_Daniel. And that's about it, right?
Yeah, that's all. That's all that there is. No Tyler this week. He's out on, what was it that you said?
He's on assignment.
Assignment, yeah.
Parts unknown. He's on
Parts
assignment.
unknown. Gone out and
I thought we were gonna not say anything until people started asking what happened to him.
Oh yeah, I can always cut that out.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, too late now. So
just leave it in. We need the runtime.
Yeah. So welcome to the show. Got plenty to talk about this week. We got some feedback. Talk about Raw. Talk about Ultima Lucha. Q&A. Much more to come. Doug, how you doing?
I'm alright, man.
Yeah, hanging in there.
Hanging.
Still
tough.
reeling.
Hanging tough.
Hanging tough. That's always good. So really good stuff. But yeah, let's dive on.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Still reeling from what happened, but yeah. Before we dive into anything wrestling related, I would like to talk a little bit about UFC 190. Doug, did you happen to catch any of it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Ended up seeing it.
What were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was a fun show. I mean, it was certainly it was built around the fact that it was in Brazil, so you had a lot of Brazilian people there to represent.
I did notice that. That was, it took me a little bit to catch it, but I was like, man, every fight seems to have a Brazilian, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, they are in Brazil, so maybe that would make the most sense. But yeah, a lot of people talking about the main event, Ronda Rousey doing business, doing work. Yeah,
it's sort of sad to see Big Nog and Little Nog they're so old now. I mean, they're not old, they're like in their late 30s, but like they've been in the fight game for so long, they're just like, you can tell it's probably time for them to stop, even though they don't want to. It's in their blood, it's what they do, so
yeah,
it's hard to hold that against them, but you can just tell it's sort of time for those dudes to stop. But I don't know, sad for those guys. I like those guys.
One of the matches that I really enjoyed was one of the prelim matches where the dude just got.
See, I didn't catch the prelims because I don't have Fox Sports 1.
Yeah, I was fortunate.
They don't
enough
show
to
it on
catch
They don't show it on the pay-per-view feed either, or whatever. I don't know.
That's strange, but yeah, there was a prelim fight. Dude got his nose cut wide open, and then he had a cut underneath his eye, and I mean, just pouring buckets almost, and but he ended up winning the fight, so that was pretty insane.
Yeah,
there were some good fights. I enjoyed them. I'm glad I got to watch Bigfoot do some damage, but
he has the same thing that like Big Show and like Andre have or whatever.
That giantism.
Yeah, he's got the same thing.
I wonder if he's had the procedure to have that taken care of.
I don't know if he's had the procedure or not, but I know there was like a lot of controversy surrounding like him using TRT, which he actually needs, I guess, because of his condition or whatever, which it would be considered like a PED for the other guys or whatever. Yeah. And I think they still hold it to him being a PED, but I think there's like some people say, well, hey, like if a guy actually needs it, like, where do we draw the line here? So I think there's like a discussion about that, but I don't know if he's had like the surgery. Like I know Big Show had like the surgery or whatever.
He had it a while back, yeah. And I think Great Khali had it as well. Had it taken care of.
What is it? No, it's like on the pituitary gland. There's like some sort of tumor or something. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and it continuously makes you grow.
Right.
I think. To the point to where your bones just can't handle you, your muscles can't handle it, and causes severe pain and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of bad stuff. but hopefully Bigfoot's gotten that taken care of. But the main event everyone was talking about, Ronda Rousey, 34 seconds. I know she had made it very well known that she wanted the fight to go long. She wanted it to be a long fight. She wanted to dole some punishment, and to her credit, she made it last twice as long as her previous fight, but only 34 seconds in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's sort of fun to watch her fight because it's sort of like a big deal. You can tell it's like a, it's just important. Her just being at the level she is sort of important to the sport in general. But I don't know. I think it's sort of like, I think UFC tries to spin it like it's not, but I think it's like fairly well known that like the skill level between Ronda and like anyone that's her opponent is like so large that no one really. I mean, like I feel like, and I think a lot of people who think that the people who had a shot to beat her are girls she's already fought and beaten, and they're sort of like Misha Tate sort of like cycling back around now.
Yeah.
And stuff. I don't know.
It was one of those, this wasn't necessarily a skill versus skill. It was more of a, this is a personal match.
Well, I think the thing about it is it's that not that Betch is not like a skilled opponent. She's like undefeated in her own right.
Yeah.
I think the thing is there is a huge disparity level between Ronda and like the skill level of even the other good like MMA fighters, female MMA fighters. I think she's just like that far ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were, making jokes, making comments about, man, I can't believe people paid, however much money for a 34-second main event. I tell you what, I watched it and I was like, that fight was awesome. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Sure.
All 34 seconds, I thought it was great.
Right. So the women in the opener went to war, though. I mean, they went the distance. What was it?
I can't remember. I'm terrible at names. I can't remember it either. But they did an excellent job as well.
Yeah.
There were a lot of enjoyable fights in that card, not just the main event.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun show.
Mm-hmm. And the end of the match, Ronda Rousey is victorious, and she dedicates the match to Roddy Piper, who unfortunately passed away the day after our show last week. So it's once again the late breaking news. We're one of the last people to talk about it. Roddy Piper passes away. Just earth shattering to the wrestling world.
It's tough, man, because it's been in particularly it's been a really bad year for wrestling deaths. I mean, to lose Dusty and like Piper so close together is just really surreal.
Yeah.
It's I guess I sort of struggle with mortality on my own as it is, and I don't know. I think it's just I'm finally at a place in my life where, like, I understand mortality like on its own terms, but it's just like I'm at the point in my life where people who have like impacted my life in like a certain way, or like people maybe I grew up like watching and stuff, are like starting to die off, and it's like not that I didn't understand mortality, but like it sets in like how real mortality is.
Yeah, it's like these people are not going to be here anymore.
Yeah. And it's just so crazy because it wasn't just like two like wrestling deaths; it was like two huge wrestling deaths in like what was like a month or so.
Yeah, within a number of weeks. It's just it's crazy. It was unexpected, and it's not like
he's old, but he's not like
it was.
He's in his 60s.
He was 61,
yeah.
and he didn't show signs of having issues. I think what was it, cardiac arrest? That they said was
that's
the
what the
cause.
call was.
I mean, I got to meet him at Comic Palooza just this past May, and he was the nicest guy. He was so sweet, so kind, and you just felt comfortable around him. And
he always like coming back. He always seemed like whenever I look at these guys, you see them. Some of them come back, you're like, oh man, he does not look healthy, or like he doesn't look like how you want to remember a guy. But to me, Piper always looked like himself. He always, I mean, he's obviously aging, but he always looked like himself. He always seemed like he sort of had it together. Like he seemed
he
to
could
be
still go.
Right. Yeah, it was.
And the crazy thing about that is that he has been battling cancer for a number of years. I mean, he found out that he had cancer. He managed to defeat it. And it came back. He beat it again. I think it was like 3 or 4 times that happened. and for it to be the heart, a cardiac arrest. I mean, it was a shock.
Yeah, man, it's really, really sad for me, just because, like I said, I'm at the age where like people I grew up watching are like dying off, and it's just
it's one of those things where it's like I'm so glad that I at least got to meet the guy and tell him, hey man, thank you for everything that you've done in the wrestling world. So
yeah, see, that's I should take a lesson from that, because like I had the chance to like meet him and talk to him, and I didn't, mostly because like I don't know, like I probably should have just at least went up and talked to him and like, you know, let him know that I appreciated like all, you know, everything he put into the business and for all the years of entertainment.
Yeah.
But I always feel weird like going up and talking to a guy and not
buying anything,
because that's really what they're there for, even though I'm sure that he would have been cool about it. I'm sure, but
absolutely.
I just feel weird about not going to talk to guys and not
standing in
buying.
line, waiting to get there, and someone's like, "Hey, what would you like?" I just want to shake the guy's hand.
Yeah, see, and so, I don't know, man. Like, I just been happy with like, this is sort of weird to talk about on the show, but it's random. But I was just like in like the spot where I'm like unhappy with myself and like my own appearance, and I didn't want to take a picture with him, not because I didn't want a picture with Piper, because I didn't want to like that be what, like, I was unhappy with. I didn't want to be unhappy with how I looked in the picture with Piper, so I passed on it, and it's just weird that he's like gone now, and I'll never ever like really get to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe that's a lesson for. I mean, it's a lesson for me. Maybe it's a lesson for everybody else out there. Maybe, you know, don't take for granted like the time you have to like see these guys and to tell them you appreciate what they do, or what the impact they've had on your life, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and we did. You know, I posted a picture of me and Piper and asked for people to share stories, and you know, there were pictures, there were stories. It was really nice to see how much of an effect that he had on people, not necessarily just inside the ring.
Right.
You know, I have yet to see one unhappy story that people told. It's just saying that he was the nicest guy. They had a great time, great experience meeting him, and it was just he's going to be one of those that is going to be deeply, deeply missed, much like Dusty Rhodes.
See, I almost met Dusty too, and not meeting Dusty wasn't my fault. Like, me and Aber were at I think it was Access for WrestleMania 25, and they were sort of just had those guys, different people like at different locations where they were just like cycling them in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was $1 Million Man and Dusty. They had set up at one booth, and like as we were in line to meet them, like they like cycled through, and I was like, God, I really wanted to meet Dusty. I mean,
so close.
$1 Million Man too, but like,
yeah,
I have like a special place in my heart for Dusty, and
he's one of your all-time favorites.
Yeah,
man.
Got that big man swag.
Yeah,
you gotta respect that.
He got a big booty, but don't let that stop him. So, you know, the wrestling world, absolutely devastated to not only lose Dusty Rhodes, but now have lost Roddy Piper within a matter of weeks.
Yeah, I don't think it's really even sunk into me. Like,
yeah, it's one of those where it's just like, man, he was so fresh on everyone's mind, and you know, one of the last videos that he was recorded, you know, talking about the Hulk Hogan controversy, which has sort of taken a back seat. I mean, that was the topic of last week for everyone to talk about, and that completely took a backseat, respectively so.
Right.
But one of the last times that Roddy Piper was filmed, he was discussing that subject, and he said, listen, whatever Hogan said or didn't say or meant to say, it doesn't matter, because, well, I'm entirely misquoting this.
Right.
But the end result was saying, Hogan, I love you.
Right.
You know, no matter what they say about you, I still love you. So for him to have that love and have that compassion for anyone who might have met him was just really special, really good. And he will be deeply missed. But you know, it's sad news to pass along as well. Another WWE legend, Hall of Famer, has run into some medical issues. Jimmy Superfly Snuka has been reportedly diagnosed with stomach cancer. So now everyone's worried about him. And it's just like, my goodness, what is happening? It's just not a good year for the wrestling legends.
Yeah, it's sort of weird to see like those. I'm not a big meme guy.
Yeah.
But it was sort of something to see those memes of like Piper and Dusty and like Macho Man and Warrior like
at
all
the Heaven's Gate.
Yeah,
kind of
it's just it's like all those guys are really not with us anymore. It's like so weird. That was like a huge part of my childhood.
And for me, I still flash back to being at Monday Night Raw the night after WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans. That was the last time anyone really got to see.
That was super
Ultimate Warrior.
surreal because we kind of got the news on the way back and we were like, what? No, wait, what?
It's like, was he not at Raw last night? What was that?
Super surreal.
And like, it was one of those things where I was remembering, we were sitting in the audience and he gave that speech and I'm like, okay, where's he going with this? Yeah. Like I didn't, that's a great speech and all that. And then to find out he passes away the very next day and you're like, this has much deeper meaning to it now. And it's so crazy. But it's just very sad to see all of the wrestlers that have passed away recently. They're going to be deeply missed and nothing's ever going to be able to replace them. So, but now let's dive on into some feedback that we got. First bit of feedback we have is from Richard saying, can everybody please get on the Cena bandwagon now? What more does the man have to do? Great matches, prove his toughness, keep wrestling with a broken freaking nose. He has done all of those things since the beginning of the U.S. title, from the bottom to the top. No, I'm not trolling, just trying to get everybody to stop being so blind and appreciate Cena now before it's too late. There will never be another WWE superstar like John Cena for years to come, maybe never. So appreciate his spectacular matches while you can. Great show, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on this show is not a hater.
Yeah.
And are appreciators.
Appreciators, yeah.
So, I mean, maybe he's sending his message out to the masses.
Yes.
Which, good for him, but it doesn't apply to us because we are not haters.
No, we are not haters. It definitely sounds like it's a message to the masses.
Okay, then cool. I mean, like us specifically have been appreciators since the beginning.
Quite some time. Well, you say from the beginning. I'll say for quite some time, because I know I was not originally that big of a fan of Cena, but he has definitely grown on me, especially since winning the United States title, and he's done several good things over the past years that I don't have a reason to hate him.
Sure.
So good stuff. But thanks for the feedback, Richard. But let's talk about Raw. We kicked things off, obviously, talking about what we've just talked about, Roddy Piper. They do the 10 bell salute. The entire WWE crowd or staff is out on the stage while that happens, and they have the video package. What did you think of the video package?
It was nice.
Yeah.
Trying to think of the song now.
I can't remember it, but it was.
I don't think I'd ever heard it before.
Yeah, it was a really good choice. Whatever song it was, but just a really touching.
Yeah, I mean, they always do the classy thing. They always do the right thing when it comes to honoring these guys.
Yeah.
Sorry to complain about that stuff.
Yeah, and it got me thinking about the Macho Man one that they did, and just really good.
Yeah, the Warrior one.
Yeah, and Dusty. Just so many lost, and it's tough. But
bringing it right back down again, aren't we?
Sorry, but we kick things off. It's one of those. The show must go on, and so Seth Rollins comes out. Crowd was very hot for him. This was a very energetic crowd this week, and Seth Rollins comes out to cut a promo about how he's the one who broke Cena's nose, and how the only reason that he lost was because he showed too much compassion, and or he was too easy on himself, and that's never going to happen again. So he would like to challenge Cena one more time, winner take all at SummerSlam.
Sort of nice / weird to see Seth out here by himself. He doesn't do that often.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it makes it feel. I mean, I think it's a plus. I think it makes him feel like more like his own man, something. And
it sort of seems like they were sort of fading away from the authority angle, and he's like, okay, now I'm ready to do this on my own.
Yeah, God knows they needed to get away from that. Yeah. I mean, there were some high points to it, but man, it's been dragging for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
But he brings up the title for title thing again in the main event, which is we sort of talked about. Was it last week we talked about?
I believe it was last week, if not the week before.
Or you at all, like even a little more swayed now? Do you think they're going to pull some funny business with the title?
God, I hope not. I really hope not.
I don't know exactly what the point would be of building it up just to bring it back to that level and then sort of forget it. But I can't see. I mean, they probably won't, but it's hard to bet against them doing a crappy finish because they've done essentially no finishes for all their shows, all the main events of all their shows.
Oh my God, it's Sting!
For like 6 months, they haven't given a proper finish to a main event.
Yeah.
So I could totally see them just being like, oh, no contest, they keep their belts.
Yeah. Both guys win. Yay.
It's so weird though.
Crowd goes home happy?
Yeah, but man, it's so weird. I guess them folding it into the main title is not out of the question. Or at least they want you to think it's not out of the question.
And I had this discussion with my boss earlier today, where he was like, "Do you think that they're going to give another title reign to Cena to make it 16 to tie with Flair?" And it was one of those discussions where we were like, records were made to be broken. If anyone's going to do it, they're going to do it for Cena, because he still has years left. And it was just like,
think about Cena versus Flair in the terms of number of title shots, as Cena is a WWE guy.
Exactly.
And no matter how Flair has got along with Trips and HBK since becoming a WWE guy, he was not originally a WWE guy.
Exactly.
They like the guys that they made, So if anyone's going to do it, it'll be him.
I mean, a prime example is what they're doing with the Divas title right now. They're wanting, it's looking like they're going to let Nikki get the longest title reign so that they won't have to bring up AJ.
Well, I think it's a smart play in the sense that you don't leave any. Sorry, I didn't mean to knock that over. You don't leave any questions on the table as far as like AJ could have been better than any of these. You established that Nikki was better than AJ by saying she beat her reign. Now, if you're really going to do this quote unquote revolution, then you have one of the new girls beat her.
Yeah.
And then that answers all the questions. Not she was better than AJ. She was better than the lady who was better than AJ, and then this is just where we go from here.
Yeah.
Sort of tie it all up in one neat little bow. And then
And it's just, I don't know. Do I think they're going to give Cena a 16th title reign and possibly a 17th? Absolutely. Do I want to? Do I want to see it? Not particularly.
Here's the thing, though. Rollins' run's pretty still at this point, too.
Yeah. It could use a refresher of some kind. And I know Mick Foley even made a post where he's like, it was JR, excuse me, where he said, I would like them to keep the title on Rollins all the way to Mania.
Yeah, I would like to see them try to make Rollins more of his own man and see if he sinks or swims that way. Because I felt like
he's improved. He's improved on the mic, and his in-ring work is always pretty solid.
See, the thing about Rollins is it was never that he was a bad promo. It was just that he never felt like his own promo. He felt like Triple H light. Like and a lot of that had to do with him just standing next to Triple H for every fucking Monday.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I don't have a problem with them running with Rollins, although it has felt a little stale, but this could freshen him up, just make him feel like more of his own man. But I don't know, but where do you go from here as far as a new challenger?
I mean, where do you go either way?
Yeah, you don't really feel like you have any hot baby faces or heels. I mean, I guess you probably have more hot baby faces than you have hot heels, but because Owens was the hottest heel. Owens and Rusev were hot heel acts, but they're DOA right now.
Yeah.
And
you can thank Cena for that.
Well, you can thank booking for that.
That too.
But
we're booking him against Cena.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. Cena did everything he could to put Owens over. He worked his match all.
Yeah.
I mean, that is readily apparent when you see that he immediately went and didn't have a kick-ass match with Randy Orton because Orton didn't work his style. And that's both of their faults. I'm not saying one or the other, but I'm saying Cena did what he could to put Owen over. They just booked it shitty.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like there's no hottie hill. I guess Roman and Ambrose are both sort of hot, baby. Maybe hot's not a great word. Maybe they're like lukewarm, baby. They have more warmed up babyface acts than they do.
What about Cesaro?
Seems like they're gonna heat him up a little bit, but
yeah.
I don't know. It would have meant a lot more if Owens had beaten Cena or whatever. But,
yeah.
But then Owens shouldn't be losing to Cesaro right after that either. Then it's just weird. I don't know.
They're caught.
I don't see them. I think they're heating Cesaro up, but I don't think he's gonna be a title contender anytime soon.
Yeah.
I just don't see that.
I mean, I could see it maybe for Night of Champions, because that's the pay-per-view after SummerSlam. It's not like their star-studded event. They just need something to help pass through.
Well,
and I think it'd be really cool if we were in attendance to see that match.
Yeah, sure. I would. They'd have a good match, but what has he done, kayfabe-wise, to give him the credibility to challenge for the title? Other than he's lost to Cena every time he's fought. And that's whether Cena loses or not. He doesn't have any like real claim, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
He wins a battle royal or something, number one contender match. I don't know.
I'm not gonna complain too hard if they give it the match, but
yeah. I don't know.
Storyline wise, it'd be weak booking.
And it's like if they were to give the title to Cena, you'd obviously at least have a rematch. But then where do you go after that? So, and would he defend both titles? Would these guys be defending both titles, or would they?
Can't see that.
Yeah. So.
It's weird for sure.
Early prediction, no finish. Not official.
I got a weird feeling they're gonna fold that fucking title into the World Heavy.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope not. Maybe J&J will return and Kane will return and.
Well, it's title for title, so essentially it's winner take all. So you either the winner's got both belts, or you do a no finish. I mean, so
maybe Rollins wins and takes the U.S. title and is like, we don't need this anymore, and tosses it.
Well, what made me think they might be going that direction? He's sort of talking shit on how it's the lesser title or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, and that's weird after they sort of built it up since WrestleMania.
They've built it up so much.
To be honest, it feels a lot more important and a lot more. I don't know.
You tune in when that storyline is on TV.
They just successfully rehabbed something, and they have an awful track record of like rehabbing things. So it's like amazing that they were able to pull it off.
Yeah, look at the Intercontinental title right now.
Yeah, well,
it's in limbo.
See, that's had a sketchy like path. I mean, like they kept putting on dudes who kept getting hurt, so it's not completely their fault on that one.
Yeah,
like Brian was hurt, like Barrett was hurt before that when they had on him.
And now Ryback's out with the staph infection. Did you see that picture?
No.
Oh my God.
Staph is nasty though.
Oh my God. He posted a picture on either his Twitter or Instagram. Or
how big is it? Give me a.
Okay. His normal knee obviously is normal.
Big fucking massive knee.
Yeah, he's got a big leg.
Right.
His other leg is like swollen up to like a volleyball size.
Is it like I've seen a friend of a friend had staph once, and I looked at it. It looks like flesh eating, like fucking. It just looks nasty. Have you seen like the sort of like melting away flesh part of staph?
Thankfully, I have not.
It's gross.
So
gross.
I will. Yeah, it's let me see if I can pull it up real quick so that you can see it. But yeah, it is not looking good. And what's bad is that he said that was the best that it's looked. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. He's saying this is the best it's looked and it's felt. I wouldn't wish this upon anyone, but it will be overcome. Staying upbeat and positive, even in frustration.
Damn, son.
So
see, when I've seen staph, or maybe I'm wrong on what staph is. I thought staph was like sort of like a hole in your skin.
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But yeah, freaky stuff. If you haven't seen the picture, go to the Wrestling News Source website.
That's gross, man.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. But back to Raw, back to Seth Rollins and what he was talking about. He decided that he wanted to have a WWE Open Challenge, and for anyone in the back to come and get some, as long as they were under 6 feet tall and under 200 pounds. And apparently Neville is under 200 pounds.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm calling. Yeah, I find that kind of hard to believe myself. But the match that they had.
Oh, gross. Okay, I googled staph.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? But this matchup was a great start to Raw.
I thought Raw. First off, I thought Raw was good overall. I thought it was a good episode of Raw.
Good crowd, good matches.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that they sort of teased Torito. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna give us fucking Torito. I was like, this could be good. I'm not shitting on this before it happens. I was like, they can have a good match.
Mm-hmm. He could work it.
Yeah, but then I was like, I was just as happy that Neville came out. So
yeah,
I thought it was good.
I like that they even teased by playing his music.
Yeah, That was cool. I mean, I thought he was going to happen. I didn't think for a second they were going to pull Neville. I was like, oh, this is just going to be the heel thing where he's going to pick on Torito. Torito's going to get some cool like high flying hope spots in, and then it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But no, they went with Neville, and it was. I like that. I like that he played to the crowd because you could tell that wasn't the finish when they said one more time. When he hit it, but he didn't get the pinfall, and they were like, one more time, come on, do it again. He was like, all right, we'll do it again. And then they went to the finish off that. I thought it was good. I like how they played into it like that.
That was one of the, because you always see it coming. It's like, oh, he's going to go for it a second time. He's going to miss. And it was like.
Or he'll get the knees up or whatever.
Yeah. And this one is because of the fans. Like trying to give the people what they want cost him the WWE Championship.
Yeah, I like that.
And I love
good improvisation.
I love the foot on the rope. I'm kind of indifferent. I'm not sure how I feel about Cole and JBL going to town on the referee for the first near pin, where they're like, oh, he was already pulling his handbag and blah 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 before he even kicked out. Like I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It was weird because they had tape queued up and everything. They called back to it.
They're like, there's one, there's two, and I don't know. His hand looked like it was already coming out, and they don't normally do that. They don't normally blame the ref for a bad count, which to me it was kind of close. Like almost maybe Rollins forgot to kick out and just happened to at the very last second.
Well, I think even JBL was like, I think he got him, or whatever, which is weird because he's like lead heel commentator.
Yeah,
I don't know, it was weird.
And but the match itself was great. I loved it. Yeah, they had a fine outing, fine show. So, but Seth Rollins does end up getting the victory. Thanks to those fans for suggesting he try the Red Arrow again. Jerks. So that takes us into a tag match, an 8-man tag match between the New Day, Ascension, going up against Los Matadores and Lucha Dragons.
All right.
Okay.
First up. Big E now has a skip that accompanies Kofi's skip. Did you see this? He has his own skip now.
I'm mostly focused on Kofi.
Hey, Kofi's got the standard, thing where he does that, but Big E's got the thing now.
They're all getting into it.
They all have their own signature skips now.
That's great.
Fucking awesome.
Oh, put that in WWE 2K16.
If that was their interest, it'd be so cool. Oh god,
it's so great. So this match is happening while the primetime players on commentary again.
All right, we put over Titus's commentary every week because he deserves to be put over every week. But we haven't been commentating on is primetime players' suit game is on point. They got some nice suits.
They do.
All right, I just want to acknowledge that.
Yeah, they looking fly.
Yeah,
they look good, and Cesaro looked really good in that.
Yeah, Cesaro's got nice.
He came out, and I'm like, damn, man.
He's got good suit game too.
Yeah, good stuff. So, so what do you think about this matchup? What do you think about the commentary?
I thought it was fun. They worked a bunch of cool, fun spots in. I mean, Titus was, wrecking shop on commentary as usual, and I don't know. I feel like Titus does this good thing. He's great at he goes seamlessly in from I'm getting my character over to back to focusing on the match, and it's I don't know. It's just sort of masterful. I don't know why.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he fucking does, man. I don't know.
One of the few at that table.
Yeah, but what was the finish? I can't remember the finish now. Was it New Day? Of course, it had to be New Day.
Yeah, New Day getting the pin.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see these dudes wrestle again.
And weren't Los Matadores heels 2 weeks ago when they fought Lucha Dragons?
Yeah, they were.
Okay, just clarifying for those keeping track.
They are the Alicia Fox of the tag division.
They are whatever they need
to
be.
Put the Matadors on there.
Why not? So New Day end up getting the pin, which makes the Ascension get the win as well. So.
And by that, we mean the face-heel dynamic is whatever they feel like.
Yeah, exactly. So, good stuff from there.
Yeah, but dude, they're going to have another good match, and they're going to be entertaining. What's not to want out of those dudes?
Mm-hmm. And I love that Titus O'Neil was like, we're going to fight them, and it's probably going to happen at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It's just the way he said it.
Yeah. No bullshit about it. He's I don't know. He's we'll get the winners at SummerSlam, whatever.
Yeah. And so that takes us into the next matchup, another tag match, but this time it was the ladies coming out. Charlotte teaming up with Becky Lynch to go up against the Bella Twins. Obviously, Alicia Fox not getting involved since she suffered a mild concussion last week.
How shocked? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was wondering why she wasn't involved. I was like, it's weird. I was super, I guess not super weird, but I thought it was weird that
they didn't have like a throwdown.
Well, no, that Nikki already was beaten and that she tapped like here.
Yeah,
I was like, that seems too early to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we're nearing SummerSlam. We're gonna establish a challenger. It looked like they tipped their hand. They already wanted to go Charlotte. You could kind of tell.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not surprised that it was Charlotte, but
they always come out to her music, and
yeah.
she's been getting quite a number of wins lately.
But I don't think that I don't think that Nikki surpasses till after SummerSlam, right?
Correct.
Okay, so because I thought we'll probably get the 3-on-3 like triple threat like at SummerSlam between all the members of all the teams in the same match, and then you're gonna get the single match follow that. So it feels weird to give her the win here instead of like it just feels early. It feels premature.
Yeah, it does. And I don't know.
Bree's right there. Why not just have her take the fall?
Right. I mean, Bree's sort of been the fall girl over the past number of weeks. So why not? You know, it's just what's one more week gonna hurt? But ends up giving Charlotte the win via submission over Nikki with the figure 8.
I don't have a problem with it. It just feels early.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the submission sorority name?
I'm kind of torn. It sort of feels like it's not that bad, and then also sort of feels like they could have done a better job.
Yeah. I feel sorority makes it seem like
childish
and bubblegum and all that stuff, where I don't know, it classifies them as something that they're not supposed to be.
So when you hear sorority, you don't think like sisterhood, you think like frat girl is what you think.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, frat girl, you know, oh my God, let's go to whatever. I'm not saying all fraternities or sororities
sorority
are like
is
that,
just like sister. It just means sisterhood, right? Just like fraternity just means like brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
It's just they're associated with like.
Why not just the sorority sisterhood?
Right.
Or sorority sister or submission sisters or something like that.
Right of the traveling submission. I don't know.
Just something like that. I don't know. The sorority part kind of throws me a bit because it's, you know, if you're looking at a college and a sorority, you wouldn't see these 3 types of girls hanging out with each other.
Yeah, you might.
I mean, you might, but normally it's all like cheerleaders over here and then sports girls over here.
What do you think? Like, what are you seeing? Like, Paige is the rocker chick, and you think like Charlotte's the jock, and then like Becky's the nerd. Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily nerd, but the other two, yeah, accurate. So, or you know, Paige is the girl who doesn't care about what you think, and you know, Becky's got the steampunk glasses, so she could be, you know, like the engineer. I don't know. I
got you.
So, just
I don't know.
thoughts.
They could have done better.
They could have done worse.
Yeah, that's sort of where I was at when you're like, I don't know. I'm not so bothered by it, but I didn't love it. It's like,
yeah, I like the bad name better.
See, I sort of liked it better when it was like Best at Dominating or whatever.
But beautiful and dangerous works for me. But the Best at Dominating.
Their T-shirts are so plain though. They're just like,
I'm bad.
Well, their shirts are just like BAD. It doesn't have like anything else on it.
Yeah, give it time. Those first few are always kind of interesting. That's a funny thought. I was sitting at home the other day and I was hearing about Daniel Bryan's book and how it became a bestseller and all that.
I bought it. I haven't read it yet though.
Oh, nice. But I was thinking about the T-shirts that he's had compared to like the T-shirts that Orton or The Undertaker or John Cena has had. They're all like Daniel Bryan's shirts are all appear to be like hand drawn by someone and they just slap it on a T-shirt. Whereas like Cena's is like prepared and Orton's looks like it could be a tattoo or, you know.
See, I think that's on purpose. I think that
that's what I was wondering. Like I was thinking like if we ever had the chance to interview him, I would love to ask that question. Like how much was your input? How much was them bringing it to you? And
I've heard him talk about at least his initial design. I've heard him say like in an interview that he said when they asked him about it, he said he wanted it to look like an indie rock band T-shirt or something, or it looked like it was like made like an indie rock band T-shirt was made or something. To that effect. So
That's cool.
He's definitely had some input on it. So
yeah.
My favorite one is the one with like
Tap
the
or
hands,
snap.
with the like hands coming around it. I like that one a lot.
That was pretty good. I like that. So, but yeah, maybe in time we'll see a better bad shirt. We'll give it some time to work on. But after that, we got to see Miz TV with special guests Kevin Owens and Cesaro. And normally I can't really stand the Miz TV segments. I find them to be a waste of time. But the way that they did this one, I liked it. I enjoyed it. The interaction between Cesaro and Kevin Owens I thought was great. The interaction between Cesaro and Kevin Owens telling Miz to shut up was great. It was just a nice touch. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
I don't know. It didn't really work for me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. They're gonna have a kick-ass match. I don't have any doubts about that. It's just the way they set it up is sort of weird. I don't know.
The Owens walk part was a little too cheesy for me.
See, I'm fine with that because I think, I'm fine with him like turning his phrase on him, like saying "walk Owens walk." But I don't like is when a guy blatantly tries to make the crowd chant it, where he's like,
Walk,
"Oh, you guys walk." Yeah, I don't like when they pander that hard.
Yeah, that's a little harsh. But Cesaro got a great reaction whenever he came out. Whoever brought all of those Cesaro section signs, good for them.
Yeah,
thanks to the fans for holding those up. Even the people who had the giant sign spelling out Cesaro.
Yeah.
It makes the people in the back notice, hey, this guy's catching on. So he's connecting with the audience. I don't get it, but
you see those like sit down? You know, they do the sit down interviews with Michael Cole. He had one where he was talking about Vince, how he felt, or not how he felt, how he felt, but also after Vince said that shit about him on the podcast, he said he walked into Vince's office like the next day, where he's like challenge accepted.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Then more people need to do that. Like, okay, you don't think I can do it? Let me give a shot. Let me have it.
The only thing I think will hurt him is like, not that he can't talk, but he has like an awkward pause to the way he talks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably because he knows so many languages. He's trying to think of what language he's talking at the moment. But maybe that might hurt him a little bit. But he's so fucking good in the ring. Just let him fucking wrestle.
Mm-hmm. Hell, I speak one language and I have trouble with it. He's doing it with like 5 or 6.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, I'm stuttering and like repeating myself all over this fucking podcast. So I'm not talking any shit. I'm just pointing.
Yeah. I mean, for him to be able to do that is awesome. It's amazing.
I know.
But yeah, after that, we got to see a very quick matchup, which is sad to see because it was Mark Henry going up against Rusev. Rusev getting the 3-minute matchup, getting the victory with the super kick from hell, pretty much.
Yeah.
Getting the victory over Mark Henry.
Yep. Not a lot to take. It was very short.
Mm-hmm.
At least he gave him 3 super kicks to really put him away.
Yeah. After that, we got to see another very quick matchup for, not sure why they did it, but it was King Barrett versus Zack Ryder.
When Ryder's music hit, I was like, are they going to put him and Mojo on fucking Raw to like...
I was waiting. I was like, where's Mojo? We got to have the Hype Bros on Raw. Yeah. But was not the case this time.
Tyler's on assignment when this fucking happened.
I know, man. I would love to hear his positive input towards this. But it's a typical Zack Ryder match now, which is sad to say that as soon as he hits the broski boot, the end is coming. Yeah. And that is exactly what happened. King Barrett ends up getting the victory. All hail King Barrett. Almost said Booker, but Barrett. Whatever. After that, we got to see Paul Heyman come out, deliver another solid, epic promo about his client.
He's always good. I think what hurts like Heyman in people's eyes is that he's always like consistently good, so it's hard to like praise him any more than you praised him before.
He was great. He was great. He was great.
Right.
He was great. It was great. So yeah, really good stuff. I don't know why I like it so much, but I love it whenever he's talking about, okay, you want to find out the dirt, you want to know what's going on behind the scenes, the stuff that they won't tell you. Undertaker called Vince McMahon and begged him for a rematch against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And that's something that the Undertaker does not do. He begged Vince McMahon for this matchup, and Vince McMahon said no. And
I think he's trying to sell it because
absolutely,
that was a lot of people's problem with the story is like, why does he wait so long for revenge or whatever?
Yeah, and he definitely sold it because the wording in which he said this isn't a WrestleMania rematch. This is the match that's too big for WrestleMania, and it's being held at SummerSlam. So they're definitely pushing SummerSlam very hard as being huge and over the top. I mean, hell, they're making it 4 hours, which is going to be insane to watch.
Another thing about Heyman that helps you buy into what he's saying is he gets so fucking red in the face and he spits when he's talking. He's like, his face is red and you can see like the
reigning, defending. Yeah. He's got it. He's got that flair and he's gritty and in your face about it. And, then he brings out Brock Lesnar, who tosses the steel steps and stands there and behold my greatness kind of thing. I saw a couple comments where people were like, I wish that whenever he's on there, he would have done something more. But,
Well, thing is if he's not going to get physically involved, like, what's he going to do,
Yeah. So, Heyman did the talking, and Brock stood there, and...
God knows every time he throws something, he hits someone inside.
Yeah.
What is it? He's like 2 for 2 with hitting people?
Monitors, car doors, and what else?
Surprised he didn't knock fucking Heyman out with his steps when he tossed him in there.
I was waiting for it. I'm like, oh, that thing is going to roll. But no, not this time. So after that, we got to see another Divas match. Paige.
They told him not to throw shit anymore.
Probably not towards the audience.
They probably asked him not to throw shit.
Yes. Could you please, if you're going to throw it, just lightly toss it into the ring or something? Like that time he just deadlifted Charles Robinson and tossed him in the ring. I still crack up at that. But, so we got to see Paige going up against Naomi. Another fine matchup, and the submission sorority pick up another win with Paige tapping out Naomi. Anything to really take away from the matchup? No? Okay. Well, that takes us into the main event, which before we dive into, there was a backstage segment with Wyatt, Harper, and Sheamus.
So weird that Sheamus was there.
So weird. That was so strange.
Felt so out of place.
Yes. It was, oh, God, that was weird.
Like, no one else is supposed to wander into, like, the creepy mist that the Wyatt family's in,
The fact that he's just standing there holding the briefcase, it's just like... What the hell are you doing here?
It's like creep show. What do you think, Sheamus? And it's like pans over. Sheamus is like, yeah, I'm hanging out at the creep show.
I'm hanging out with you guys. I know we all hang out now. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's nice and dark. Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
It was really it was jarring to me that they cut over and he was there. I was like, wait, what? He's hanging out in like the smoky.
Okay, how did this scenario go? Hey man, I want you to come on down where I cut my promos and
see that cloud of fog over there.
You see where I got those dancing fireflies, man? It's gonna be a good time tonight, man.
So weird.
So weird. Why? What is? How did that happen?
I don't know.
That'd be like if Kane okay, throw it back to the 90s. You see Mankind in the boiler room, sitting by himself, rocking back and forth, and out comes Hardcore Holly, just be like, hey, what's up?
Right.
Like, what are you doing there? It's just, so strange.
That's not where you hang out?
No, it's not. So weird.
You don't hang out in the creep fog. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Only they hang out in the creep fog.
Or if, Heath Slater showed up. Hey.
That one might have been jarring in an entertaining way.
Yeah. But anyways,
trying to tell them about songs.
Oh man, I love this song. So the main event was the Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper teaming up with Sheamus, going up against Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. Fun matchup.
I thought it was really fun. I thought it had a little bit more fire to it than their typical main event multi-man tags. I don't know, the home stretch just seemed particularly hot, and Roman looked good, and Ambrose was going nuts, and I guess Orton.
Crowd was hyped as hell.
Yeah,
really good.
I was into it. I liked it.
Really good stuff. So not too bad. It sent the crowd home happy. So good stuff. But let's talk about now Ultima Lucha. The part 1, I guess you could say, that happened last week that aired. And part 2 is going to be happening this week. Going to be a 2-hour event. So make sure you tune in and check that out. Should be some amazing matches from what I hear. But the part 1 happened last week, like we said. You got to check that out.
Yep.
So we kick things off with Cage going up against the Mac in a Falls Count Anywhere matchup. And these guys went to town on one another.
I thought it was fun and I liked it and it was entertaining, but it felt a little disjointed. Like, I don't know, and it felt like the ending sort of came out of nowhere. I could tell they were building to ending it up there on that little like stoop or whatever it is that they go up to sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like they have like on top of Cueto's office and that stoop thing.
Yeah.
And then the place where Angelico jumps from is like those 3 spots that you know they're going to do something from. Or I guess like the staircase that comes down. So I could tell when they were fighting their way up that something was going to happen on that little stoop thing. So I knew, but it still just sort of felt like it sort of ended out of nowhere. I don't know. It was cool. It was fun. They had some fun spots. Mac breaking out the Stone Cold gimmick with the beer and the stunner. And the first shot of the curb stomp into the center block looked kind of weird, but it looked a lot better when they showed it from the other angle where you could see like the impact of the head or whatever. But I thought it was cool. It was a fun match.
And the fact that the match didn't end in the ring,
right?
Falls Count Anywhere. So.
Right. It's like,
yay!
Like play to the stipulation of your match.
Yay! I love it. So good. So yeah. But Cage ends up getting the victory on that one for Ultima.
Do you think they were going to break in through his office? Or was it this match or was it the other one that I thought like, oh, they're going to get to his office again? It's like, Cueto needs to fucking reinforce his office with some shit.
I have redesigned my office. I'm tired of you people barging in whenever I'm.
It's sort of like that spear through the thing spot. It's like, oh, it's like Cueto's office spot coming up.
What are they going to break this time? The door! Oh my God. So, so the next matchup we got to see Trios Championship up for grabs. Disciples of Death going up against Ivelisse, Angelico, and Son of Havoc.
Props to Ivelisse for trying to work through her injury. She was obviously limited with a big cast on her foot and she couldn't do much, but she put herself out there to continue on. I guess when you have a show like this, it's hard to make changes like with this tape so far in advance. You can't change champs like that, and she was game to work on her bum foot, and you got to give her props for that.
Absolutely.
I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, and going back to what you said, a lot of people are praising Ivelisse for working through the pain and all of that, but it's also one of those you have to remember how far back that these tapings happen.
Right.
So she was still in the midst of trying to recover from that.
Right. She's good now.
Yeah, she's good to go. Whenever
we just saw her
at the Autism event, yeah, she was fine. The boot was off, and she was wrestling fine. Yeah. Any thoughts on any additional thoughts on the matchup?
Surprised. I guess I was surprised with the title change.
Mm-hmm.
But it just sort of felt, I don't know. I guess so much of the first season felt sort of not centered, but a lot of it dealt with the sort of misfit team of those 3 trying to get together or keep it on the same page or whatever. So it's sort of weird to see them take the titles off. I mean, I knew it was in the can, but I didn't remember the results or anything. I read them God when they happened, so I forgot the spoilers that I've read by now.
Yeah.
But
but the Disciples of Death do end up getting the victory and become the new Trios champions. Yeah. So after that, we got to see the Believers Backlash strap match between Drago and Hernandez. A lot of hits.
Yeah. Do you think that the whole we're bringing podcasters and people who do news media or wrestling media type stuff to be was a way to get them to promote it on their show? Be like, yo, I'm on the strap match, whatever. You guys gotta freaking watch this for sure.
Well, if that's the case, I want to know why I didn't get an email.
Well, probably because we weren't. Probably because we're not in California.
Matter. We would have made the trip, and it would have been fun.
I mean, if they would have copped us, we'd have been there in a heartbeat. But
no, they wouldn't even have to do that.
But yeah, so all the people who were in the straps have podcasts and stuff like that they did. So I guess that's
check me out. Make sure you watch it.
There was that one guy. Okay, one guy you could tell was a plant. I mean, you could tell the ones who were the real dweebs and who weren't the dweebs. You could tell the one guy who was the plant There was that one guy who kept fucking hitting him so awkwardly that I was like, he's gonna destroy that guy. He's gonna fucking. And they teased it. I like the way he kept calling back to her. He's just like, gonna lose his shit on these guys. Like when he hit, it was the plant guy who got it from him. But there was that one guy who kept fucking hitting him so like awkwardly, and I was like, that guy's gonna fucking get it.
He better like leave the arena as soon as the match is over, because if Hernandez finds him after the match, it's gonna be over. But yeah, I mean, good work from both of these guys. The dive into the mist was pretty sick. The landing, my God.
Oh, Drago broke out the nunchucks too.
Mm-hmm. Cool. It was pretty sick. It was a good match with Drago getting the victory on that one.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I'm excited about the next week's.
Mm-hmm. This week's part 2.
This week's
2-hour special event. Definitely got to check that out. Really good stuff. So normally we do the Hot Topic segment around this show, but for those of you who might not have listened over the last few months, I think since February we've been doing the radio show. We do have a radio show that you can hear a lot of the Hot Topics featured normally on this part of the show. So you can listen to us by going to sportsradiobeaumont.com, or you can download the Sports Radio Beaumont app on your smartphone device. Just search Sports Radio Beaumont, and it'll be popping up right there.
Yeah, that's sort of how we break the shows down now. Like, podcast is sort of the breakdown show, and the radio show is sort of the topical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we've differentiated for now until we figure out a better way to do it.
Yeah. So make sure to give us a listen, because I know some of the questions that we've gotten in the past few weeks have been answered on the radio show.
Right.
Featuring certain topical news. So if we don't talk about certain things, make sure you catch the radio show and give it a listen. So really cool stuff. But time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question coming to us from Moose. Saying, this news may be old, but what do you think about Destination America removing Ring of Honor at 8 p.m. and moving them to 11 p.m. on Wednesdays? Do you think the ratings on that show will go up or down? And this is one of the topics that we actually talked about on last week's show on the radio.
Yeah,
so,
I think they've settled into about what they're going to do on that show. I guess to try and retread it. They don't get as many viewers as TNA, but the reason that it's a less of a problem for them that their ratings aren't as good is because, from my understanding, Destination America subsidizes TNA because their production costs are a lot higher, and that's sort of the price of doing business with them. Spike subsidized them when they were on Spike, and Ring of Honor is just a pre-done show, like the same show that airs on the Sinclair networks is just taped and handed over to them, and they just run it. They don't put any money into it. So while Ring of Honor doesn't make a ton of money off of that, it's basically trading like exposure for content. So while they may not be tearing it up in ratings, if they can get roughly or even close to the same type of advertising dollars that TNA gets without having to put money into them, it's a win-win, or it's a win for Destination America. So while they are doing less viewers, and I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing for Ring of Honor. I think it remains to be seen. I think they're going to be just fine. But I don't know if the move was made specifically because of the viewership or whatever. But yeah, I think they're going to be all right.
Cool stuff. There you go, Moose. Thanks for the question. Next question coming to us from Parker, and very interesting in the wording choices for this question, but we'll work through it. I'll read it the way that it's typed, and go from there. Make do from it.
Okay.
It says,
you worried me. Is our boy?
Well,
as our man's man.
I'm sure you'll.
Parker.
I'm sure you'll be able to decipher where the part is that is kind of questionable.
All right. Taking a shot at us?
No, he's not taking a shot at us. It's just a very interesting choice of words.
All right.
So Parker saying, hey guys, great show. I don't think ROH will die. In fact, I believe that they will win the war. The same day ROH loses will be the same day I will rape Mom, which thankfully will never happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that has to be what you're talking about.
I mean, where do we go from there?
We're not going to touch it.
Okay, yeah, not touching it.
Because we cannot be the guys who joke about rape.
No, we cannot. As to a question between Ring of Honor, Raw, NXT, TNA, and Lucha Underground, if you take one guy per show and put them in a 5-way elimination match, who would win? Or who would you pick? Who would win? Or what belt would they win? Thanks for reading and keep up the show.
Hey, Ring of Honor. I mean, Ring of Honor they just can't win. I mean, like, I'm not saying they can never be competitive, but like, if WWE
they don't have the budget,
they're owned by Sinclair, which is like $1 billion company or whatever. They're a wealthy company. They just don't have any interest in pumping the money into them, or we would have seen a difference in their production between the time they've started and now. So they clearly don't have any interest in pumping a lot of money into them, which means they can't compete with the WWE because the WWE will throw all their money into shit to. I mean, they're not afraid to throw some money out there to see if they can make shit work. I mean, clearly the network is like based on that. Like they rolled the dice to see what was going to happen, and so they can't. Ring of Honor can't compete. They just can't. I mean, you would argue it's a different to argue they artistically they compete like with like match quality and stuff like that. Then can they compete straight business dollars cents, and they just can't. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that I want Ring of Honor to fail or anything. It's just the reality.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the last part because I was caught up on the part where you're ignoring.
Yeah. Okay. 5-man elimination match.
Okay.
1 man from WWE, 1 from NXT, 1 from Lucha, 1 from TNA, 1 from Ring of Honor.
What is this, like a fantasy thing? Like
just a fantasy booking
match.
Just take one guy from each of the 5 ones and toss them together
for a match.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I'm just picking like I get to book as cool of a match as I can with one guy from each company.
Yeah.
All right, I'm taking Pentagon Jr.
from Lucha.
I'm taking Cesaro from WWE.
Okay.
Because Cesaro works hella good with Lucha guys. I mean, I guess Pentagon's not explicitly a flyer, but so maybe I should have done a more flyer guy.
Mm-hmm.
I might have fucked that up. Yeah. Ring of Honor. I'm gonna take ACH for Ring of Honor. And what was my other company?
NXT and TNA.
It's Mojo.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I want from TNA? I want from this godforsaken company.
Who's left? How about
in this godforsaken Oh man.
Rockstar
we might need to check a roster on this.
Yeah. Rockstar Spud.
Who do I want? I can't even think of who's on the
EC3.
Yeah, I might have to go with EC3. Aries is gone.
Yep, Aries is gone.
I honestly can't think off the top of my head who's there and who's gone at this point.
I'll do mine. From Raw, I'll do Daniel Bryan. NXT, I'll do Joe. TNA, I'll do Kurt Angle. Lucha, I'll go.
Trying to see that man die in the ring. Come on.
It's a fantasy match.
All right.
They're all in their prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lucha, I'll do Puma. And Ring of Honor, I'll do Jay Lethal.
All right. Oh, you know what? Roderick Strong's had a fucking killer year. I might want to go with him instead of ACH.
Yeah.
You know what? To accentuate like how awesome Cesaro is of a base, I might want to go with a more flying luchador. So maybe like a Phoenix or a Aerostar. I don't fucking know. We're gonna mix and match all those names we just said, and they're gonna have a match. I don't know.
Hey, it sounds good to me.
All right.
Anyone from Impact? TNA?
Fuck it. I'll say EC3 because he's the only person I can confirm is on the roster.
You're going Robbie E. Oh, good stuff. Thanks, Parker. What belt would they win? I feel like you'd have to do a custom belt.
Sure.
You can't have it from one particular promotion if you're having all of them. Go. They win the Global Force Wrestling title. How about that?
Sure. Wish he had some of those dudes under contract.
Next bit is coming from Joe, and he has quite a bit for us.
All right, let me have it.
All right, Joe says, great episode, fellas. A couple comments, though. Why on earth would you intentionally spoil the results of Ultima Lucha for yourselves? A good chunk of perception and feedback about the matches is the element of surprise, so how could a listener take your thoughts on the event seriously knowing you had just watched it jaded? It doesn't matter to me, but I could see how there is always a conflict of interest. I also take your comments on the Ricochet as a hint to who wins the main event, and your listing of competitors in the Gift of the Gods, in order that you remembered them as huge hint to who doesn't win that one.
Or is this all, or are you just breaking it off?
That'll be the first bit of comment and questioning.
As far as the spoiler stuff is, there's only one match in Ultimate Lucha that I recall the spoiler for because I read them as they happened, like whenever they happened, and I don't even remember the matches that we talked about this week from the first half. I didn't remember who won any of those. Mm-hmm. So the spoilers. So I don't feel like first of all, jaded. Just because spoiled and jaded are two different things to me. Spoiled is I'm going in knowing what happens already, and jaded means I've seen so much of anything that I'm sort of numb to it that it's hard to impress me, which I think are two completely different things. Jaded is like, and I've been watching wrestling for almost my entire life, and I don't feel like I'm jaded. In fact, I feel like I watch more pro wrestling now than I ever have, just because of the nature of the world and availability. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel jaded. I think spoiled is a different thing. I don't even remember the spoilers except for the main event. That's the only one I remember. And as far as knowing the outcome affecting, I mean, you are right in the sense that surprise can add to a match, but I don't think it has to or is a necessity in a match. I don't think I need to know to not know the outcome to be able to enjoy the match, because I just sort of enjoy the story of the match for itself. So one of the examples I always give of this, mostly because I'm not smart enough to come up with a different one, is that I know the Avengers are winning. I don't need you to tell me that they're like, you can tell me the Avengers are going to beat Ultron. I'm still going to watch the fucking Avengers because it's the journey. It's not the destination. So I don't know. I guess I just disagree on your take. Although I'm not disputing that surprise can add to an element of a match, but it's not everything for me. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's everything for everybody. Some people see it that way, and I can respect that, but it's just not me. So I don't think I'm jaded, and I don't think it invalidates my opinion to go in spoiled. But you're free to feel however you feel about it. As far as the Ricochet talk, that was not thrown out there to indicate who may or may not have won the main event. It was more an indication of where they are as far as coming back for a season 2 is what that was meant to indicate. Mm-hmm. That if he's out there taking bookings in other places after the fact that they've said that they were supposed to start taping for season 2, it was meant to say, hey, are we going to get a season 2? It was not meant to say, hey, is he winning or losing that match?
Right.
So that's where that sort of talk was. Did we hit everything in that?
Yeah, I believe so. The Gift of the Gods, but it's the same concept.
Same thing, yeah. It was just literally like us just trying to remember. It had no significance.
And I want to say that I heard that the taping for season 2 would begin in September. I want to say that.
Well, I've heard that was the word, but they're telling talent to start taking bookings in September, which is which started. And then after that, that's when Ricochet showed up in New Japan and Dragon Gate, and people were like, "Oh, well, that's
gotcha.
That's weird."
As far as for me, for spoilers, there are certain things that I do watch, and there are certain things that I don't watch. I very rarely watch SmackDown. They haven't done enough storyline to have me have a reason to watch mostly. So yeah, once we wrap up the podcast, I usually pull up the spoilers and see who won the matches and if there was anything important. Now, if there was something important and people were saying, dude, this was a stellar match, you need to tune in, yeah, I'll catch it. But other than that, it's, I've got a very loving fiance who puts up with me watching wrestling, 4 to 5 days out of the week. I got Raw, you got NXT and Lucha on Wednesdays, and I hardly even watch TNA. But then when you've got the pay-per-views every once in a while, we always have it at my house. And so I don't want to say, well, hey, let me have one more day so I can watch SmackDown, which I could easily DVR and watch it whenever she goes to sleep. However, I'm comfortable with how much wrestling that I watch right now, and I just don't know if I can dedicate more time to it.
I just don't think that.
Like, there are certain things that I don't want to be spoiled on.
I just don't think that being spoiled invalidates your opinion, though, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that you don't have that your take on a match can be ruined just because you know who's going to win. I think it can affect how you see a match, but I don't think it always affects how you see a match.
Right.
And actually, I think the amount of times it affects a match is probably in the minority, because I feel like, generally speaking, especially with TV, you know who's winning and who's not winning.
Yeah, and it's the same with
doing no finishes. I mean,
it's the same with going back and rewatching like WrestleMania. You know, you already know who's going to win,
right,
but you go back to relive the moments.
Right.
You go back to watch the match. It's not to find out who wins. It's to say, dude, remember this match? It was a solid match. So, you know, I don't know. Take it what you will, but I don't mind spoilers every once in a while. But yeah. So the next part that Joe asks or comments on, saying, I was also very intrigued by your rankings of NXT Divas. For me, it's Sasha Banks' world, and we're just living in it. With the exception of her sometimes wonky promos and weird head and eye movements, she's got it all.
The head and eye is where it's at, man. The attitude is where it's at.
She's dynamite in the ring with great impact moves and superior timing. She has multiple finishers and can make them look natural and unannounced with precision. She's impossibly pretty with a great look and even better gear. Where we differ is the rest. Bayley and Charlotte are in a virtual dead heat for second on that list, but I think I give the nod to Charlotte for her variable moveset and strength. Bayley's a much more fleshed out character, but her Bayley to belly leaves a lot to be desired against some opponents. Becky Lynch is a distant fourth with her wishy-washy character and not so much memorable moves. She's really cut, I'll give her that, but nothing with the exception of moments in that title match with Sasha a couple months ago I've seen from her makes me believe that she can hang on in the same breath as the other three.
See, I think Becky's awesome. I think she's a clear number 2. I think she is really good at like chain like wrestling stuff, and to be honest with you, I think the best Sasha Banks match was with Becky Lynch. As far as her gimmick, I think there's only so much you can hold her accountable for her lame gimmicks. You can hold her accountable in the sense that you can always, I guess, try different things or do more to get your gimmick over. But if they say, hey, we want you to be the lame clog dancing girl, she's going to be the lame clog dancing girl. There's not a whole hell of a lot she can do about that. She does not at a point in her career where she can make that sort of calls for herself. She's not like an Undertaker or a CM Punk who's going to be like, fuck off, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to... They decided she was Clog Girl. I mean, like, okay, she can only be responsible as to have done her best as Clog Girl. Like, she can't be, like, have all the blame for being Clog Girl is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to me?
She did the best with what she was given.
Sure.
So...
Yeah, I think she's number 2 for sure.
Yeah. And finally, he says, great Tyrus interview. Any chance we could see Virgil as a future guest? Love to hear his thoughts on his recent Twitter shenanigans and just what the heck that dude is up to. You guys keep on keeping on.
The guests are just always a wait and see type thing with us.
Yeah. Never say never, but who knows? And fun fact, I actually pulled that up while I was getting ready to read it. The Virgil GoFundMe account that we've discussed.
I want to be a rich thing.
The Make Me a Millionaire. It's been going on for a month now.
Mm-hmm. Let me guess.
Okay.
You give me 3 guesses.
I'll give you 3 guesses, sure.
We're at a month. We're trying to get to a mil.
Yeah, trying to get to a mil. We've been doing this for a month.
$5,000.
No.
Am I warm or cold?
Compared to $1 million, you're warm.
No. Am I warm to the actual total or not? Am I close to the total? Or?
Yeah, you're pretty close. Fairly.
4,000.
You're getting warmer.
Warmer?
Yeah.
500?
That's probably been the warmest you got, so that was your 3rd guess. $405.
I'll make that man a millionaire. Come on.
Just because. And have you seen...
If y'all had to pay royalties for all the memes you made of that man, he should already be a millionaire.
All those times you took pictures of him sitting by himself. Yeah. So, yeah. So if you'd like to donate to make Virgil a millionaire, there are no perks, no autographs, no thank yous, no anything. Just simply giving this man money to make him a millionaire.
Right on, right on.
There you go.
You gotta appreciate the honesty.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna do it for us this week. Make sure to submit your questions on our YouTube channel, WNS Video, our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com and WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook, WNS Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes, BeyondPod, Player.fm, and Stitcher by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Follow the podcast on Twitter. It's at WNS Podcast. Daniel's at WNS_Daniel. If you want to tweet to Tyler while he's on sabbatical, while he's out there on
missions
and parts unknown, tweet filthy things to him, offend his sensibilities. I don't know. It's at Tyler.
Send him pictures of bears. Tyler.
I thought you were gonna say send him pictures of somebody else.
Bare nakeds. So there you go. That's going to do it for this week. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week. Have a great one.
Later.